What is up, guys? My name's Jeff. That's my wife. Welcome back to the show. This is My Wife Still Likes Me, and today we are talking about who do you celebrate with? Because if the person you celebrate with isn't the person you put a ring on their finger, you should watch this show.
I was going to go with you're wrong, but that's fine too.
Oh my gosh. Maybe, I don't know. Hi.
Hi. Do we need to leave time for the intro music?
That's enough.
Oh, that's enough?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just enough to pause so I know there's a break.
I swear we talk about these things before.
No, we don't.
Oh, can we start this over? I'm just kidding. Oh, what is something that exceeds your expectations? There's no context. These are hard.
Yes, something that exceeds my expectations. I was gonna say you, but then I have to explain it, and that's not like in a bad way. Like, this is like more than like
You signed up for?
yes, but not in a bad way either. Like when we got married, this is great, but it has become so much more than this is great. Like, I don't want to do this any other way.
Right?
Like, yeah, the first decade was interesting.
The first year was,
Oh, yeah.
we survived.
Anyway, but
Yeah, I agree. I think our relationship has definitely gotten better with time. Yeah.
I don't know. What is something that exceeded your expectations? My car.
Mm-hmm.
My car.
There's a big list of
There's
things.
a lot of things. My car has exceeded.
And like
it broke, and then I was like, "Oh, there I am."
yeah. There's a lot of things, and like you stole the relationship, so I'm not going to do that one again. But honestly, my job, I did not, and yeah, don't spit your tea out. I think I signed up for this job just thinking it was going to be, a job, and it's quickly become a career. I've been there for 10 years and I still love my job. So, yeah, who knew?
Yeah.
But yes,
That's an interesting question,
I know.
because I don't know. Like yeah. I never could have imagined our marriage would have worked out this way, because statistically speaking, it should have ended 10 years ago.
Right. I think part of that was we made some strategic decisions, especially surrounding our children. We waited, 10 years to have kids? Almost. Because we're at 16.
Yeah.
Oh, it was 7 years. We waited 7 years to have kids on purpose.
Yeah.
Obviously, things happen, but we waited on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to work out the bugs in our marriage without the added stress of children.
Oh, absolutely. And that's not to say that it has to be done that way.
No.
But like, yeah, we did. I thought it was 6 years. I don't know.
I don't
Whatever.
know. More than 5.
Yeah.
And that's not to say like you can't make marriage work with children. It's just we went through a lot of hard life changes in our first few years, and we didn't have this, plant. But what are we talking about today?
Who you celebrate with when things happen.
Yes.
That's what we're talking about. Who's the first person you tell when you have something to celebrate? Or not celebrate. I guess we could take that both ways.
Yeah. Who's your person?
Yeah. Not who's your person. Is your spouse that person?
Yeah. Well, I mean, in really like when you have that job promotion, and I remember when we discussed this topic is, I'm a firm believer that like when you have exciting news, who's that first person that you think of that you have to tell? And if it's not your spouse, or at least, top 5, because there's been times where I'm at work and you're at work and something exciting happened and I'm just busting at the seams and I need to tell somebody.
Yeah.
And you may not necessarily be the first person, because there may just be someone, physically closer at that moment, and I may not have my phone, but like I would say top 2, who are you going to tell? And it's always been, you're the first person that I'm thinking of. Now I may celebrate that moment with the people surrounding me, but it should be your spouse.
Yeah, that was the thought. It's like, hopefully we've all married our best friend.
Yes.
That being said, more often than not, our spouse is not the person we share our big news with first. And it's, yes, in the moment, like things like that happen. Like when you're at work and you get promoted pre-pandemic.
Oh, yeah.
You celebrated with people in the room with you. That stuff, like, that makes sense. But a lot of times, like, I have friends that find out they're having babies on Instagram.
Facebook. Yeah, Facebook,
And I'm
Instagram.
like, you're celebrating major milestones that you guys have worked for together. And the first person you celebrate with is the guys at the club or the ladies wherever you guys go. Like the big news and things that are spouse is probably one of our biggest supporters, and they're not the first person that we share with, can create a lot of tension and a lot of issues.
Oh, yeah. And it hurts, I can only imagine, if, when we were having children, if you were to find out through Instagram, Facebook, some of these other things, because let's be honest, there is a thought process that goes into putting up a post on social media.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, we did cute little like onesies and fun things, but you were part of that process and you helped me stage things. Like,
yeah,
that's exciting for the both of you.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
And so in context, like, it hurts when our spouse doesn't share or celebrate the big news with us.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say first, but early on in the process, right? You should not find out you're having a kid on Facebook.
No.
But we're not saying don't go and celebrate with your friends and, and the guys and the gals and the family and stuff like that. That's awesome. But remembering who's with you day in and day out every single day, right? We're managing our life and our lifestyle and our work and stuff all together. And we talk about commitments to each other in careers, and we do strategy meetings and planning, and like we do all this stuff together. So you've worked hard to get where you're at in your career. And try not to sound incredibly selfish, I have worked hard to get you where you're at in your career.
Oh, you've given up a lot to help me get there. Yes.
And that's where the pain comes from.
Yeah.
It's not that you did it. That's fantastic. And not you, but in general. It's not that our spouses did something. It's that there were sacrifices made for everybody.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
For me to do my current job, we packed up everything we owned, all 5 of us, and moved away. Like, that's a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
But we celebrated that together. And so a lot of times we forget that our promotion is our promotion.
Yes.
And, our kids' accomplishments. Yeah. When my kids come home with good grades, makes me feel pretty good as a parent. Right? They're our accomplishments and our things we do together. So like your school accomplishments.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
When you're done, like when you came home with that, I was super excited for you, but for us, because like we did this, you did the hard part, but we did it.
Yeah.
And so that's like the thing that we forget. And that is the idea of who do you celebrate with first? Because chances are pretty good, if you've been married for any length of time, your spouse isn't doing the thing that you're getting promoted or children is the one thing you do together. But all the other stuff, most of the time, it's things you do separate. But what sacrifices did your spouse make for you to get where you're at?
Yeah.
And then not celebrating with them early in the process hurts.
Yeah. And it's also something to be very cautious of. Is it's easy, like women, well, men do this too. I think it's on both sides of the fence equally, but like my mom is one that I tell a lot of this stuff to. And one really good example of when I found out I was pregnant with twins, my mom was at the doctor's appointment with me. So I think that's probably the one time that she found out before you did. And so that was...
And that's why, like, while we're talking about this early on in the process, because the next place you went was to me to tell me.
Exactly.
And yeah.
That was a fun day.
Those kind of things, like...
Yeah, but, you know, if you... I want to play both sides of that fence because, you know, sometimes it's easy to go to your best friend, go to your family, you know, whether that's your sister, your mom, your dad, depending on the circumstance. And it's super, super easy to be going to them with this exciting news, but there's a lot of people who plan out announcements, and that's okay. That's fine. Like, I am going to surprise you with this exciting news, but I need someone to help me plan it. That's fine. That's not what we're saying.
That's not.
But
you're taking your spouse into consideration when you're doing.
Oh
that.
yeah.
It's the.
I'm going to go tell my best friend, and then I'm going to go tell my mom and my dad, and I'm going to tell the grocery clerk. And I'm going to go tell everybody the super exciting news. And then my spouse is an afterthought. Like, oh yeah, you might hear about this. This happened. And by the time you're done telling everybody else, the excitement is gone.
Yeah.
So that's what you got to be careful with in your marriage, because, you know, you're my person. You're my support system. But also, like you said, you have supported me in my career. You have supported me in schooling. We have made several sacrifices together for our children. Mm-hmm. There's been long nights.
Oh yeah. And the same thing for you and them. The sacrifices we've all made so I could go to school and move up in my job, or try a job that didn't work out and have to go get another one.
Yeah.
Like, those things all happen. It's remembering we're in it together. Because a lot of times from the friends and the clients that I see for coaching, they don't remember they're in it together.
Yeah. And that's scary.
Like, this whole, where, you know, 2 weeks ago started this mental load process, and there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of things going on that we've already got a mess, and then to come to find out, ooh, this awesome thing happened and I didn't get to celebrate with you, is not going to help any.
Yeah, because then your spouse becomes the dumping zone. You're only there to help me when I need you, but you're not there to celebrate with me. That's not a relationship. That is a slave. I hate to say it, but you're only there.
You're a tool.
Thank you. That's a better word for it.
Like, you're a tool. You're the vent place.
Yeah.
And we don't have that at all. I don't think. We regularly talk about everything, probably too much, but I'm just that kind of person.
Yeah. Yep. But then it also becomes, if you're going to I'm just going to use the best friend. Like, if you're going to your best friend for the good and the bad, and your spouse is only there for the really bad and to fix things, then you don't have a relationship with your spouse. You have a roommate, and your best friend has become your spouse.
Could you imagine just having a roommate?
Oh. I don't wish that upon anybody.
I mean, I've had some awesome roommates.
I have too.
But
that's a different kind of relationship. That's not a marriage.
So good. Anyway, it's remembering we're in it together. This is a short one. There's not a lot, but it needs to be said that celebrating with your spouse, I said first, but I like this early on in whatever it is, because there are some times where you want to tell your mom so you can help tell your spouse about whatever. Celebrate together.
Oh yeah. And
I don't know how to have this conversation. If your spouse isn't that person, that's a conversation that needs to be had.
Oh yeah. But also understanding the person that you fell in love with. Mm-hmm. There's obviously some redeeming qualities, or you would not have picked them. But there also needs to be that give and take, because there are some people, I have cousins who go all out for parties, which is great.
I love them for that.
I know. That is just not who we are as a couple. And sometimes you marry your complete opposite. It just makes for more conversations that you need to have some give and take. So if you've married that person that celebrates by going all out, sometimes you're going to have to get out of your comfort zone and try and go all out for that job promotion, that baby shower, that whatever that special moment is that they're celebrating, not because it's about you, but it's about them. And on the opposite end, if you have that low key person, I do not like public recognition.
Yeah. Your kid's first grade promotion does not need to feel like they graduated high school.
It doesn't need to be a wedding ceremony, essentially. But, if you've got someone who's pretty low key, taking them out to dinner and telling the waiter to bring a dessert, like something outside of your norm, is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
You did that for me.
We've done that a lot.
We have.
That's our thing. Whenever something happens, let's go eat. Now we go eat out. We schedule it in our budget and all of that stuff. So we eat out.
Yeah.
Consistently. But
yeah, but it's going to the grocery store and buying your wife flowers, or, making your husband a cake just because. Whatever that looks like for your family, because not everybody likes cake, not everybody likes flowers. Sometimes it's just a card, I'm thinking of you, or a card to say.
My favorite card ever. And we can talk about this in the next episode, so you have to come back. But my favorite card ever was the one I got you that had the couple like hugging.
I knew that was the one you were thinking of.
The lady has the thought bubble and it's a heart. And the guy has the heart bubble and it's an upside down heart because it looks like butt cheeks. And he's grabbing her butt. And I'm like, that's my favorite card. That is in this house somewhere. It's probably still in a box.
Yes. Yes. I knew that was your favorite card. But it's true.
Not always.
Most of the time.
90%.
I was going to say 90%.
It's like Minions and bananas.
I lost my train of thought. Squirrel. Your squirrel moment.
I have a lot of those.
Yes.
Did you say I am a squirrel moment?
I did not, but it's true.
Yes, that is true.
I think these guys are going to finally, guys and gals, the people that follow us, they are going to slowly realize that you interrupt all the time.
Well, I told the church about it a couple of weeks ago. So statistically speaking, I looked at this yesterday. Our primary audience is 30 to 50 women, 30 years old to 50 years old.
That's funny. Yeah, but how many of these women are like, see? Because I do that.
That one. Who do you send TikToks to? Not show them, not turn your phone. Who do you text TikToks to? If that's not yeah. It's
The
constant with us because I'm yeah.
I can't put this on my wall, but it's funny.
Yeah. There's love there. If you text TikToks, you really like that person.
Oh, that's funny.
All right.
We're on a roll today.
Celebrate with your spouse.
Yes.
And if not, I'm having a good time on the Switch over there.
Apparently.
Anyway, celebrate with your spouse. And if your spouse isn't the first person you want to go to, have that conversation.
Yeah.
And figure out why.
And it is a hard switch. And I think sometimes, like, if your spouse is not the person that you want to celebrate with, there's a problem, and that's an internal thing that you have to fix.
Yeah.
Now, if you get to the point where you have that internal dialogue or lack of, then there's probably a need for a marriage counselor or someone with an outside perspective, because I've said it before, I'm petty. And so sometimes it takes that second opinion an outside opinion, because your best friends are in your corner. They are not, and they're only going to hear the bad things because that's just how we're programmed as people. So they're not going to be a good influence. And that goes on the other side of the table. Like, your friends are not, 90% of the time, you're going to have biased opinions. So seeking professional help, like a marriage counselor or a therapist to help you work through some of those things, is a good thing. It's okay to not be okay. That's my shameless plug.
Yep.
But yeah.
Yeah. I like that. I tell people that okay all the time. It is okay not to be okay. That being said, we are not mental health professionals. If you need counseling or therapy, you are welcome and should go find some from somewhere else. We just like to take some of our practical stuff and share it with you so you can be better at being married. Find us on the socials at My Wife Still Likes Me, at mywifestilllikesme.com. Comment, like, subscribe, smash the bell, all of the things, and we will see you next time. Later.
Bye.